this is awesome. You have to get out there and sell it. And if you don't think your business is sexy, like Brandon said, why should anybody else? If you don't believe in what you're doing, why in the heck do you think you're going to get rock star employees? If you have no passion, no enthusiasm, no vision, no fire in your belly, nobody else is going to have it either.
Welcome to the Quick Talk Podcast with Joshua Latimer, where we discuss business, life, family, faith, struggle, fire, pain, and ultimately winning.
It's time to take massive action. Look, I can't work harder on your life or business than you do. It's ultimately all on you.
You know, God created all the food the birds would ever need, but he doesn't put it in their nest. You've got to go get it.
10 out of 10 people die. So how about doing something today that actually matters while you still can? Hey everybody, welcome to the Quick Talk Podcast. Hope you're having a good week. Hope you've been enjoying the podcast. We've had quite a variety of different things. It's been a weird week, right? I was in Orlando, and then, I played some audio from a Facebook video for one of the episodes. We did a Q&A. We did a couple things with Brandon Vaughn, which has been amazing. People love listening to him. I'm trying to get Brandon to where he'll come on once a week and have like a Brandon Vaughn day, and we'll talk about stuff because he has a lot to share. What I can't shake out of my head right now that I want to share with you today is this idea of moral obligation. And it was talked about, I've actually heard it before by Russell, but at the conference, I think it really set in, and I can't shake it. I can't shake it. We're launching the Sales and Marketing Super Course, and that's awesome. But there's always this piece of you that wants to hold back. Like you feel bad. Like, well, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to, be annoying or any of that, right? But then I look at some of the top marketers in the world. They're not even just marketers online, but you look at businesses that are scaling really quick, and you realize really quick, if you just look at it, that they are sales machines. They are all in, heavy, double, tripling down on sales. That's how you do it, right? But with our small company, I think we forget that. There's a disconnect, or we just have too much weird baggage around sales for us to move the needle. Does that make sense? For me, I know for a fact that what I have in the Sales and Marketing Super Course, and our software for that matter, it literally is life-changing. It's the best digital product I've ever put together in my life. It's amazing. And I know that, right? But there's this hesitancy. Well, there's not anymore, by the way, because now I understand it's my moral obligation. So here's a really cool example. A lot of people over the last 20 years have read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I read that book when I was 17 years old, maybe 18, somewhere around there. It changed my life. It opened my mind in a way. I wasn't even exposed to that world. And I know that millions of people read that book, felt the exact same thing, and have pivoted the trajectory of their life because of that book. For a fact, like so many people, a lot of the people I look up to got their start because of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It was a book by Robert Kiyosaki. It's like a classic now. But you got to understand something. Writing that book wasn't enough. How thankful am I that he spent massive amounts of money and effort and time and personal risk marketing the crap out of that book to me, so that I saw it everywhere, so that I saw it in all the bookstores or whatever, right? And online, he's still marketing that book. But my point is that if what you're doing is helping people, it's helping your community, you're doing the right thing, you're adding massive value, you're adding way more value than you're receiving. If that's true, and you're not a scumbag scam artist, it is your moral obligation to sell your stuff to as many people as humanly possible. In fact, the evidence of your caring, the evidence of you loving the world and the people in the world is you selling your stuff. And when you hold back, you're actually serving yourself, because you're putting your little fear, hesitation, or self-limiting belief ahead of the needs of other people. Everybody loves to buy, but they don't like to be sold. Have you ever heard that? And so there is like this whole used car cheesy salesman thing that you want to avoid. But at the same time, you need to market and be aggressive and take risks, and you will win people over, because once they discover who you really are and the service that you provide, and that you are unlike any of your competitors, that you do go over the top, that you provide a high level of service, that you do the right thing when no one's looking, that you actually care. Once they know that, their customer for life, are they really going to be upset that you hit them 6 times in a row with a super postcard sequence, or you knocked on their door for the fifth fifth time? No, of course not, right? But that's how you scale. You have to sell. And it's not just about serving your customers. What about your employees? What about your team? They need your business to get bigger. They need more opportunity. If you're hiring rock stars and they're young men or women in their 20s and it's a labor job for a service company, a portion of those people have leadership ability. A portion of those people could run a multi-million-dollar company for you someday, but they're not going to ever get that opportunity unless you create it. It is your moral obligation to scale your business, to sell your stuff, and it's your moral obligation to be highly profitable as you do it. It's not a badge of honor for you to give people big discounts and to crush your own profitability. And people that walk around pretending like it is are hiding the fact that they're actually just scared to charge what they're actually worth and to take that leap, right? They're scared that they'll get rejected, that they're not good enough. There's all kinds of weird stuff in our brain. But being profitable is something you should be proud of. It's the evidence that you're serving people at a high level. And, if there's one thing I learned at that live event was after a winter of me going really, really hard, building the super course, networking with all these people, getting them to, take time out of their super busy day and sit down for 2 hours and teach, and then having my team edit everything into little bite-sized chunks and load it into a course. It was a massive amount of work. I was redlining, I was overworked, I was tired, it was stressful. The one thing I learned though at this event was how important it is to get in a room with people that are like-minded. I mean, it was huge for me. It was an amazing break. It gave me a lot of time to reflect. And I don't know, it was awesome. Also, I wanted to remind you guys, my assistant Jessica got a whole bunch of emails, from you that are interested in the Automate, Grow, Sell live experience. That's going to be in the fall. I don't have the dates yet, but we will soon. And the Automate, Grow, Sell experience is where you can come to Michigan, to my house with my wife and some other business mentors that I'll fly in. And then we have a conference in the conference center. But the reason the event's different is all of your food's included, your lodging's included, we take care of everything. If you just show up with a pen, if you can get to the location, you're literally treated like royalty, and we serve you and we wait on you, and it's amazing. But we also help you reverse engineer your business goals. We're targeting husbands and wives that want to get unified in their business goals. That's our perfect avatar, is someone who wants to get their wife on board, or a wife who wants to get their husband on board. Or maybe you're on board, but there's friction and tension and it's not working, or it's stressful. This is like a vacation/business conference. It's intensive and fun, and you get massive results, but it's also fun. And it's incredibly valuable to get in a room with people like that, just like I did at Funnel Hacking Live. I'm in Russell's inner circle. It's a super expensive mastermind. I keep talking about it. And he just raised the price of that to $50,000 a year to be in this group, right? And by the end of the year, it's going to be $100,000 a year to be in this group, right? So I go to this event. Let me ask you a question. What type of people do you think are in Russell's inner circle? Got any ideas? You think they're average run-of-the-mill negative Nellies and, Joe Blow that's over there, being a victim because the universe has conspired against him? Wrong. Of course not. They're not geniuses, but they're at a different level. And most of the difference that I notice in them as I meet more and more of them, the different level that they're at is mental. They have tremendous skill. And there's a handful of people in there that are so smart, you can just tell that their brain is operating at different RPMs from everybody else. But overall, even people doing over 10 million a year, they're just people. They have a simple plan. They deeply care about their community a lot, and they are ruthless when it comes to getting their message heard and out to the market, right? They believe that they have a moral obligation to serve their people. That's why it works. But anyway, so that goes back to my original point of today's podcast. But the secondary point is, when I went there and I got to connect with these people and eat lunch with them and have conversations and really learn about what they're doing, it gave me a tremendous clarity on what the next steps need to be for me. It also gave me access to people to call on the phone and just be like, hey, I'm struggling with this. I know that you did this in the past. How can you help? And all opinions are not created equal, but people that come to the Automate, Grow, Sell experience, they're a certain type of person. And it might not be a good fit for you, and that's totally cool. In fact, I don't want to push people to even think about coming to this if it's not a good fit. That's why I'm trying to be really clear on what it is. But it's a certain type of person. Number one, they're extremely hungry. Number 2, they care about family and legacy and contribution. And number 3, they just need some clarity. It's like they know that what they have is going to work, but they just feel overwhelmed, or they need a little bit more polishing on like the purpose of their business, or what their next step should be, or what big domino is the next one that needs to get knocked over. And I promise you, when you get in a room for several days with like-minded, hungry people led by successful, group leaders or whatever, it changes everything. I always say that community plus clarity equals conquer. Community plus clarity equals conquer. I'll also tell you that every single person that's replied back to my survey I sent out to the people that came to the first Automate Grow Sell Experience, everybody that replied back so far, all of them want to be registered early for this one. They're going to come back. Why? Because we delivered results. I don't want to just give you guys information. I would prefer to give you transformation. And it's by being in community. That's how you do it. Don't live on an island. Get your wife or your spouse on board. And it just puts you in a position to take those action steps. It's a major thing. People miss it. Don't overlook it. I'm not just some guy on the internet. I'm not just some voice in your ear. I'm a person. I live in Michigan. You can come hang out with us. If you qualify, there'll be an application process. But what I want you to do is I want you to send an email. If you want to be notified when we do have the dates and the pricing and all the details, if you want to be notified first before I shout it to the world, then I need you to send an email to my assistant, Jessica, and her email is jessica@sendgym.com, and just talk about the AGS Experience, because it's going to sell out quick. We're going to do 60 spots over 2 sessions. I do know that much. And we're actually going to do it at an event center, and you'll have your hotel. Everything will be paid for there, and it'll be awesome there. But then each day, like, we come back to our house. We have a really cool house on 23 acres, and we can hang out. You can walk the property. You can, have an adult beverage and hang out and talk to your friends and meet people and just connect with your spouse. It's super cool, and there's nothing like it in any of the home service industries. There's nothing even close to it. So if you're interested, send the email to jessica@sendgym.com. That will get you on a list where we'll email you first and say, all right, cool, like, here's the details. Click here to apply, and then we'll give that a little time before I go to the world and start telling people about it. So it will sell out quickly, and it'll be probably the best investment you'll make all year. And also, if you want to learn how to double your average ticket, how to 10x your referrals, how to sell in ways that you never even considered or thought possible, how to break down your self-limiting beliefs with pricing and the psychology of all that, you got to sign up for the Send Gym Super Course. Just go to supermarketingcourse.com and put your email in, and we'll get you more information. On Thursday night this week, I'm doing a webinar where I'm going to teach you the 3 biggest secrets why the big companies are big and the little ones aren't. But I'm also going to show you the super course, what's in it, and make an offer that'll be the best deal you'll ever see for the super course. But you need to be on there live. There'll be bonuses and things like that too. But anyway, irregardless of all that, I just appreciate you guys. And I want you to remember, because my value add to you today was, it is your moral obligation to sell your stuff to more people. Get over it. It actually sets you free. It sets you free. You don't have to be scared to sell, because it's not about you. It's about them. You're trying to serve them and help them. They have a dirty house. That's disgusting. They have mildew all over their deck. When it's wet, it's slippery. Their kid could slip and break their leg. They need it clean. Their carpet is unsanitary. You got to clean it. Their lawn is disgusting. It's killing their home value. You're going to fix it, right? This is awesome. You have to get out there and sell it. And if you don't think your business is sexy, like Brandon said, why should anybody else? If you don't believe in what you're doing, why in the heck do you think you're going to get rock star employees? If you have no passion, no enthusiasm, no vision, no fire in your belly, nobody else is going to have it either. And so if you've been in a rut, you need to look in the mirror first. Get out of that rut by changing your community. I'll talk to you later. Take care. God bless.
Hey, thanks for hanging out, friends. And from all of us here at the Quick Talk Podcast team, we hope you loved today's show. We hope that you were inspired to become a doer and not just a listener. Apply what you've heard today in your own business and watch things change for the better. Lastly, remember that all the money in the world can't save your soul. Seek first the kingdom of God, my friends. We'll see you next time.
For more information about the Quick Talk Podcast or Joshua's other businesses, visit our website, quicktalkpodcast.com. Have a blessed day.